Hey, tight shirt Terry Warfield. I know you've been telling us to buy the A7S III this whole time, and you bought an FX3. So the question is, do you have any regrets on buying an FX3 and getting rid of your A7S III? Okay, let's talk about it. What's up, y'all? It's tight shirt Terry Warfield back for another video. Hope you're having a great day so far. Hey, remember to be thankful for your life today because you did not have to have that. A few disclaimers before we get to the meat potatoes. Number one, I do not script videos, so if I mess up, I just mess up. Number two, there's our smoke detector. Number three, I know that this video is, it's kind of pompous, right? Oh, this dude is arguing on which 4,000 camera he should buy. So let me always say that when I make these camera reviews, that the stuff that I'm able to attain and get comes from a real place of humbleness and gratitude. I came from not having no money at all and building and building and building over the years to finally be able to afford stuff like this. So when I make these videos, just know that my heart is full of gratitude and gratefulness that I'm able to have this stuff. Now that we got that out the way, now that the freaking kumbaya is over with, do you have any regrets, Terry, on getting the FX3 over the A7S III? Now, the last two videos I've made have been, hey, reasons you should buy the A7S III over the FX3, and then the video about if you should buy the FX3 or reasons you should get the FX3 instead of the A7S III, and now I want to tell you why I ultimately choose the FX3. Now, I'm not going to go through and spill all of the different reasons for you. You can go back and watch those last two videos. There is literally nothing wrong with either one of these cameras, and in fact, as I've said in the previous videos, if you can't get good results out of literally two of the best mirrorless cameras out there, you're just a straight freaking bum and you need to go get some practice. Okay, so let's talk about reasons why I'm even interested in the FX3, right? When the FX3 was first announced, I was like, you know what? I really am intrigued by this camera, not because of what it offered, but strictly because of how it looked. So I'm gonna be honest, part of my determining reasons why I wanted the FX3 was strictly based on aesthetics. I freaking love the way this thing looks, especially when you turn it on and you start recording and the tally lights pop up red everywhere. It's just a really good looking camera, and that was one of the major reasons why I was interested in it. But when I saw the price tag, I was like, no. Why would I be paying $400 more for essentially the same thing as the amazing A7S III, which I freaking love this camera, right? And the reality is the price difference is all about the K3M module. So at the time when the FX3 came out, I had no interest in putting a top handle for audio on top of my camera. However, my situation has changed, and now I'm really interested in making these sit down style videos where I have a really good quality mic in front of me and being able to run that directly into the camera and not have to edit audio or anything like that. That was a great freaking idea for me. So when I found out that I could get the FX3 with this audio handle that I was already interested in, because you could get the K3M by itself for $600 and it comes with a microphone. So you could also do that on the A7S III. And in fact, I'm actually using the FX3 audio handle on top of my A7 IV. It still works. So I'm very, very interested in that now where I wasn't before. So times have changed a little bit. So essentially, these two are almost the same camera, right? Obviously, the FX3 has had some updates that the A7S III didn't get, further pushing it towards the cinema side. And there's still reasons why you should pick up the A7S III, which again, I'm not going to go through them all. But the reason why I didn't want to get rid of my A7S III right here is mainly because of the EVF. Now, some of the film snobs are going to come through on this video like, Terry doesn't know what he's talking about. He's stupid. We don't care about having an EVF in film. And I accept that. And I realize that. But as a solo content creator that uses a lot of Sony cameras, and I'm talking about ZV-1s and all these other cameras, y'all know sometimes when you out and about and you film, and sometimes these rear displays are just hard to see. So even when filming video, it's dope being able to still look through the EVF to see what the shot looks like, or the review footage and stuff like that in situations where this rear display is not enough. Now the film snobs will also say, oh, Terry, put a freaking monitor on your camera. Okay, yeah, I do put monitors on my camera, but you know what? I live in Cleveland and I don't always want to walk around with a rigged out steal me setup. So there are situations where I don't want to use a monitor outside. So in those cases, having the EVF was freaking clutch. You know what else I really love about the A7S III is these two top dials. You don't get dials like you get on the A7S III. That you don't get that stuff on the FX3. The FX3 is pretty much buttons and stuff, where this is traditional DSLR mirrorless body style design. Now, those two things were the main driving factors, the EVF and the dials that the FX3 didn't have. But everything changed when I got the Sony A7 IV. Again, first world problem. So this dude's got an A7 IV, A7S III, and an FX3 and want to make a video. Yes, okay, first world problems, I get it. But that all changed when I got my A7 IV. So when the A7S III came out, I was so hyped to use the EVF that I stopped using my A7 III and I sold it, even though it was less megapixels, because the EVF was just freaking fantastic. Well, now I got another camera, the A7 IV, that gives me a whole lot of stuff that both of these cameras have, but it's got way higher megapixels and it has an EVF. So the idea of having a photo camera that has a EVF, maybe not as good as the A7S III, but has 33 megapixels versus 12 that both of these offer, is very, very enticing. So when I'm grabbing one camera, I'm taking my A7 IV. So what that means is the EVF, although it's better on the A7S III than it is on the A7 IV, is not as valuable to me anymore because now I have the A7 IV. And again, I get first world problems. This don't apply to everybody. Everybody's situation is not like this. Totally understand. But what that means for me now is this is no longer a commodity because now I have it on that camera, which is the A7 IV, which is my go-to camera when I only want to take one camera, which now means, oh, Terry, a dedicated video camera sounds like a better idea. So again, I'm using this audio module on top of my A7 IV because it works, but it actually came with the FX3. So the whole package is now a lot more enticing to me because you get this camera that you were intrigued with the look and everything about. Now you got the top handle that you were really hyped about. And for me, at least, these cameras cost about the same. Now I got all of that stuff, plus all of the benefits of the FX3, which again, I'm not going to go through all of them. I have a whole video set for that you can watch after this video. But I'll highlight a few key points. Number one, the freaking record button on the front is huge to me. Number two, I love the body design on this. I know it's shallow, but hey, when you're spending this type of money, you might as well go for the one that you like aesthetically. And this just checks so many more boxes, the red tally lights and all that stuff all over. I do really like how this has a fan. The next thing is being able to load my own custom LUTs in the camera. That for me, when I'm making these style videos, is huge because this shit never changes, right? My lights never change. I'm always filming at the same temperature and I use the same custom LUT that I created to slap on top of this footage. So I can now bake that in the camera. Whereas before, okay, and let me step back to talk about the whole process, right? Now I don't have to add the LUT anymore in post. I have it baked right into the camera. Now I don't need to like run separate audio and sync it and post and all that stuff. Now I just take it directly from the mic that's plugged directly into the FX3. Plus all of the benefits of SONY EI when I do want to use it on professional shoots or whatever, like being able to just have those things, the tools necessary to extract the best image out of this thing is freaking clutch. Plus, although I do like the layout on the A7S III, I do appreciate having dedicated buttons for things like ISO and iris and things like that that are on the FX3. So I could go on for freaking days on nuance. The way it all boils down for me is user experience. And now that I said user experience, do I regret like picking up the FX3 to get rid of the A7S III? And the honest answer is no. I don't regret it at all. In fact, I'm pretty freaking pumped about it. Now the FX3 for me checks so many more boxes for video than the A7S III. Now, I'm not saying that you can't accomplish the exact same things on the A7S III that you can on the FX3. Obviously, you can. But I like having that in a body where I don't need to do all of this additional stuff to do the same thing. You get what I'm trying to say? I really think for video creators who don't really care about photography, if you need to choose between these two cameras, the FX3 is the way to go. Absolutely 100%. Now, if you feel like you will still really use the EVF and photography is more important to you and this is your only camera, and I stress that again, if this is your only camera, then yes, the EVF and traditional style might be better for you. But if you have the privilege of being able to have one of these as a second camera, or maybe video is just your primary focus and not photography, then I have to recommend the FX3 10 times out of 10 over the A7S III. So there it is. A7S III is finding a new home. Anyways, I hope this video was some type of insightful or helpful. I'm not you know, professing to be some expert. This is kind of like me just justifying my purchase almost, but it is what it is. But I hope this video is entertaining, informational, some crap like that for you. So anyways, I'm out of here. Tight shirt, Terry Warfield, piece of chicken grease. Much love, y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.